Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about Dune, we're talking about Empire's Spider-Man cover, and we're talking about the new Uncharted trailer. I'm the only one with energy this week, so let's get it going. Play the intro. Coming to you from 1920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, in the heart of Uptown Whittier, Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 70. I'm your host, Rene.
This is Bryan.
This is Nick.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
I had to really think about that because you said 70. I'm like, 70 what? I legit.
What is it?
That's why I paused. I was just like, 70 what?
Are you dense? I don't know, Bryan. You're sitting in a podcast room. You have a mic in front of you and headphones on. What do you think we're doing?
No, I know what we were doing. I just didn't realize the
what
number.
Issue? Oh, what number? Oh,
we just did 69.
Dude, yeah, I think. But
we just 69, okay?
Listen, we had a night of wonders.
It was great. It was
Are you
beautiful.
trying to tell me you don't remember?
Yeah, and then we did a podcast.
Oh, right.
You
we
said
did that
no
too.
shirts, okay?
I'm actually kind of surprised you let us bring clothes back on. But
Yeah, you said that. We're back, guys. We're back. Issue 70. We're back to our normal, family-friendly ways.
I'm
PG.
actually really surprised you didn't put an F counter on the.
You really
that
think
would've
I was
been
going to
too-
listen
yeah,
to
he's
like
not
an
gonna listen
hour?
to that.
But it was funny because as I was editing the podcast, I was like, when he was just like, I could say whatever I wanted to. It was like a duck sound every time.
I forgot you use duck sounds when it comes to bleeping out curses every time we do it.
The only reason why was because Andy was the one that had that, she had the idea for it.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, I can't listen to the podcast when it's a giant beep because as I'm driving, when the beep comes on, it scares me. And I'm just like, it's literally just like a beep. Like, how is it supposed to be scary? So I'm like, fine, I'll do a duck sound. It was the only sound I can think of that was like appropriate.
It's actually funny. I like it.
The duck sound?
The duck sound, yeah.
Sure. I heard it change one day and I was just like, I guess.
It's whatever,
No one asked my opinion. It's fine.
Yeah, well, as Rene stated in the podcast in the intro, he's the only one with energy. I don't know. Today,
You came in and you were already kind of like,
I was like, ugh.
yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I was reading the Batman comic. I was falling asleep.
Oh, this was the imposter one.
Well, hold on. In all fairness, this is why. So I'm reading the comic, and Renee's closing up, and everything like that. And you know what Renee decides to do as I'm reading the comic?
Okay, mind you, I'm in the mode of closing up.
Yeah. So you know what he does? You know what he decides to do while I'm reading a comic in the middle of the store? Turns off all the lights and only leaves the podcast room light on.
He's closing up. If he leaves the lights on, people are going to be like, hey, is this place open?
No, I understand that. But it wasn't even that. It was the fact of he walked over there and then just started turning off the lights. Not even like, hey, Nick, I'm about to turn off the lights. You want to move into the other room? He literally just started turning everything off. And then I just started curling up towards the light going
towards the podcast room.
Towards the podcast room. And he's just like,
I'm looking at him like, what's he doing? Oh, crap. I was like, I'm so sorry.
My bad.
I'm like, why are you acting weird, man?
Yeah, he's like,
do you
why
not
are
want to
you
be in the same room as me?
He's like, why? Because I was just like slowly nudging towards the podcast room and like trying to get light because Batman Imposters is already a dark novel. So I'm like,
so dark.
There's just so many shades of black in that.
You said that you weren't going to read this yet, right?
I was gonna wait until the collection came out.
It's a good first issue.
I'm reading enough already, so when it comes to like stuff that's smaller than like 6 issues, I'll just wait on trade.
I liked it. What was it? It's a good first issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really solid first issue. I like the what was it? I like the telling of a story that they do in this. It's really, really impactful. It's a nice change of pace. I like the idea that they're trying to give Batman some realism to him in the comic books. Of like one of the coolest things I showed it to you was the zip line.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
Like, I like the idea of the fact that Bruce Wayne thought he hadn't come up with the grappling hook yet, and decided to disguise himself as a construction worker and go up to all the tallest buildings in Gotham and put zip lines all across them.
There was another part in this book where they, because it's Anna Wong, who's the detective that's trying to figure out like who this imposter is, or like, because I guess the whole story, the premise of it at the beginning is, you know, the rich and wealthy of Gotham are, they're concerned that Batman's costing them revenue.
Yes.
And then it branches off into a story where there's another Batman that's now killing people by throwing them off roofs. That's what they find out at first.
There's an imposter.
There's an imposter, yeah.
Because essentially what they're saying is that Batman so far hasn't gotten the attention from the Gotham police.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't killed anybody. He's been taking down mobsters. He's been doing all these other things. So the police haven't really taken, like, they've kind of just been letting him kind of do whatever it is he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
yeah.
the minute that he starts killing people, that's where now the cops are like, whoa, we got to stop this guy. This guy's insane. Like, you know, now he's murdering people.
Yeah, so the zipline thing is like one of the things that they mention here, and then Anna Wong says that she's found record of 12 impounded motorcycles with the VINs filed down as well.
Yeah.
So it's like it's amounted to like millions of dollars. It's like, oh, well, he's either got, you know, military money or he's just super rich. So she's like kind of narrowing down what's going on, and it kind of gives you the idea. I think, do they mention here that the system of tunnels is what he uses to like? Yes. Okay. So they say that.
Ratcatcher mentions it.
Yeah, that's how he's able to get across the city so well. And then the book ends with. Do you mind if I?
Go ahead. It's just the first issue.
It's the first issue. So the book ends with Batman kind of being the detective Batman and trying to figure out how these murders are happening. Mm-hmm. And then the knock happens on the door, and it's Anna Wong who presents herself there. And it's like, oh.
But as he's talking about it, he's like, because he sees that, and he goes like, well, the worst thing is if the cops were to figure out that I'm Batman, and then literally that's when the knock happens, and then it says, hi, I'm Anna Wong. I would like to talk to you about Batman. And then it was just like, oh dang.
That's how you.
Because literally, if anybody were to take 5 minutes in Gotham City and go, dang, Batman has a lot of gadgets.
Yeah, I didn't think
like
about
a lot
that.
of stuff that would be millions and millions of dollars
like,
worth.
he's well funded.
Oh well, I guess we'll never know.
Like, this is not just like your normal crazy person with like hockey pads. Like this guy has like multiple cars, bikes, and boats.
It's not some just like soccer dad. He's like, hey honey, I'm gonna go out. Okay, so put on my hockey pads.
Oh my god,
my helmet.
So he's not.
So he's not t-ball practice.
Are you trying to say he's not the shoveler? He's not the shoveler.
You guys don't know the shoveler. That's a movie called Mystery Men.
No, but it really makes you think about it, because when you start to kind of like tear it apart little by little, like the way she's kind of like, you know, figuring this out. It's like,
obvious.
oh yeah, like why didn't anyone think about this throughout all the different things, you know?
Yeah, like
motorcycles, if you find them and their VINs scratched off, wouldn't it be super expensive to do all that?
What's funny? I found a little droid, and it said Wayne Enterprises on it.
No, I wonder what. But it does make. But I like the idea of Batman getting caught, because the thing is that he needs people in Gotham Police and also everything else in order to be Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he needs somebody to know. He needs somebody to be in on the know in order for him to effectively, you know, get information and do different stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, this one mentions that Gordon's retired.
Really?
Is it really?
It says that Gordon's been retired for a year now.
I thought he was not retired, but he was like banished, or
no, it says that he retired.
I got to read that part again.
That Gordon's been retired for about a year now. So I guess Anna Wong is going to be kind of like your new Gordon.
Okay,
but this is a young Batman. He's only been doing it for a couple of years.
That's what I'm saying. So Gordon is.
So why would Gordon be?
That's what I'm saying.
Retired?
He's already.
That
he was
is
a captain.
weird.
He was a captain, and then they said that he's.
Maybe it's just a new. I mean, it's a Black Label series, so it's not technically canon. They've mentioned that, but all the Black Label books are not technically canon. These are just different stories.
In all fairness, him and Wong make a great team. Mm-hmm. Like in the Batman, the TV show, she was doing. It was really
the
good.
Batman animated, not the Matt Reeves Batman.
That's why I said the Batman TV show.
The Batman 2005 animated series.
Renee's like, let's just not do this again,
let's
please.
Just cut it down.
That was a bit when we were drunk.
What was it?
The Batman. Oh, it's that one.
No, yeah, What was it? I do feel like they're starting to run out of ways to talk about Batman. Like they're like, oh, what should we call it? The Batman. No, we already did that.
Can't do that, guys.
What about the Dark Knight? Did that?
That did that. How about the Cape Crusader? Sounds not serious enough. Like
sounds like a cartoon.
Which is, it's gonna be a cartoon.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I'm really excited. I can't wait to read more about it and stuff like that. It's gonna be. It's so far. It's pretty sick.
So in here it says, because there's a line of dialogue with the new captain of the precinct, who's basically saying, "I don't need to remind any of you how damaging Gordon's escapades with the freak was for the entire department. That idiot drowned her credibility in the toilet and didn't bother to flush on his way out." So yeah, he was retired, I guess. I'm assuming, so he basically ruined their credibility.
Yeah, he's no longer with the police force,
which kind of gives them an in if they want to bring him into like this world. For audio listeners, if you guys are seeing us here on YouTube instead of the on our audio platforms, it's called Batman the Imposter. It's a series that just came out, I think, last week, right?
Yes.
During DC Fandom, they were kind of like advertising.
They were promoting it,
using T-shirts and stuff. But you can see it on YouTube. I'm gonna hold the cover up here. Batman the Imposter. It's by Mattson, Tomlin, Andrea Sorrentino, and Jorby Belair. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name.
It's
Blair. But the art's great. Story's really well done. It's a Black Label series, so like Nick and Rene saying not canon, but it's a really good first issue, honestly.
I also really like the relationship that they have in this with Batman and Dr. Thompson.
Yeah,
because in a lot of comic books he has like that relationship with Thompson, but he doesn't necessarily. I like the idea that she's keeping him in check.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, in order for if you want to be Batman, you need to come see me every night, and we need to have a session.
It's interesting
after every patrol, we need to talk so that way we can keep your sanity in check.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed this kind of trend with Batman stories is that they're grounding him more in reality.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've been on a Batman craze now. I think after DC Fandom, yeah, because honestly. Because the Arkham games were $12 on Xbox Live, so I bought them.
Pretty good.
I've never played them, so I started playing Arkham Asylum, and I'm like, yeah, this is like around the time that Batman was still kind of like the Cape Crusader, the man that could do anything and kick ass and all that other stuff. And I feel like the trend now that most of these writers are going towards is they're grounding him in reality. It's like he's a human being. He's seeing death. He's patrolling at night. Managing his life as Bruce Wayne and Batman. We need to get him some psychological help. Because this man's gonna snap.
Yeah,
and they're doing that. Yeah,
it's he's kind of like one day away from killing someone.
Yeah, like, I mean, we saw it in the trailer. Who's gah.
Yeah,
that meme now. That's a meme on its own now.
Yeah, but I do like the idea of Batman needing psychological help, and he needs to check his how much he can manage.
Yeah,
and everything like that. He can't just be like for the mission. Like the mission says this. Like I like the idea that he's human.
Yeah,
because that makes him more attainable. That makes him more. You can connect to Batman now.
Yeah,
because maybe you're also seeking psychological help. If a superhero needs to go see a therapist, I could go see a therapist and stuff like that. It opens.
I didn't see it that. I've never seen it that way. That's interesting. That's wow. All right.
And that
I don't need a therapist. I'm good.
That's what Batman said.
I don't need
look
a doctor
at him
telling me my problems.
I don't. All right, Jake Peralta. I don't trust therapists.
That's right, Rene. We'll never talk about that.
Yes. I don't need to relive my trauma.
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yes.
All right, so let's move on to the topics at hand because we've got a pretty hefty podcast issue today.
I love how we started this with Batman, where we just had a podcast.
It's because
about
it's happening in front of me. Welcome to the Batman podcast.
I just feel bad for our listeners. Like, gosh, they're like Batman.
It's okay. You try. We got Bryan to turn in his web shooters.
Yeah.
And he's now picking up his utility.
He was playing with my Batarang earlier. Like, where is it actually? Did you pocket it? Oh.
Did you pocket it?
It's just in case, can I have the Batman? No,
He was like, no.
I still have my Spider-Man shrine at home, so,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
just can't do it with Batman because, he's he's not my first, so.
You always remember your first.
Always remember your first.
So topics at hand, we've got Dune. We've got Empire magazine information coming out, and then we do have Uncharted.
Yeah.
So where do you guys want to head into first?
Just get Dune over with.
Let's get Dune over with. Finally, let's talk about, because we talked about a lot what we liked about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our dislikes, if
about
anything.
Gotcha.
If you get, so that way they can tune into the mini cast.
Yes.
I want you guys to just spit on it. Like, come on. Give me all,
They spat in that movie.
Okay, I was gonna say, you said that. No, there's a scene because they set up the world.
So the
pretty
world
well.
of Dune, actually, really quick, is they're
Spice,
on the
right?
desert planet, right? Yeah. And there's like no way to get water at all.
Yeah.
There's limited time of like any sort of getting moisture in anything. So what they do is
it's a major resource that they need.
yes.
No, it's not just a resource;
Yeah.
it's a currency.
Yeah.
They use it as a currency.
so what's great about it is that they're the main characters go into what I guess would be the
Like a council room.
yeah,
like
the
a
sand
war room.
the sand people, essentially, where they live and stuff like that.
Hey, we don't talk like that. Okay.
And basically, they walk by and one of them goes, "Oh, make coffee." They go, "Okay," and they get this like little drip, like would be like a drip pan or like a drip thing, and basically they put coffee grounds in it, and the next thing you know, they go spitting inside of it until all the spit builds up and starts dripping on to like a little pot or a cup through it and stuff. So that's
there's another scene. The one that I'm talking about is
Which
with
one?
Oscar Isaac, where they're debriefing in a room.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
And then one of they're called the Furman.
the Freeman,
The Freeman.
the Furman or Freeman.
Yeah, one of those. One of them walk in, and he like walks in directly into there with like a knife. They say, "Hey, you need to take a knife," and Oscar Isaac's character's like, "No, just let him come by." So he approaches the table and he goes, just spits on the ground, and Josh Brolin's character's like, "I'm like, freaking kick his ass."
All of the security for Oscar Isaac's character is just like, hey, they're like,
And Jason Momoa, because he's worked with them or he's lived with them for like a year or so, he's like stops, is like, no. And he proceeds to spit on the ground and go like, thank you for gifting us with your body's moisture.
yes, which is heavily, it's hard
Really?
to supply that.
Yeah, really? Because I thought Jason Momoa was just going to lift his hands and then, bring the sea.
My man.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about Dune, yes.
I am Waterman.
Rene is right. We did talk about Dune, and we gave a little mini review on our mini cast, which you guys can find on keepingupwiththenerds.com. Again, it's going to be exclusive to our website for a couple days, then cataloged on YouTube for your enjoyment.
Yes.
So go ahead and check out the mini cast on our website, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It'll direct you over to an unlisted link on YouTube. I don't know how I'm going to format it yet, but it'll be on there. You guys can watch it. You guys can see it. And then if you guys are interested, yeah, that's where it's at. But I have a question for you guys. It brings this all together. Because Nick wasn't the one who saw it. It was just us two.
Yes.
So I have a question, because this has been an issue with Dune more recently, now that it's getting closer to its release, or when it was getting closer to its release.
Yeah.
The idea of these movies being streamed on the network or like on a service rather than it only being exclusive to a theater. Yeah. The reason why is because Dennis V, whatever his last name is,
We can't pronounce it, guys.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's been advocating that this movie should be seen on the big screen.
Yes.
That this is one of those movies that needs to be enjoyed
Which
on
I
the big
understand.
screen.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
A couple of people have already said, like, this is a movie. This is an IMAX movie.
Yes.
This is a movie that you should go see it.
And I 100% agree.
Yes.
There are multiple scenes where this movie is just like, damn, I wish I could have seen this in like a big screen.
See, the problem with that for me is I have a low income of certain things, so I don't have a lot of.
And do you have the time or the tools to get there? Exactly. Not at all. Exactly.
And then there's also convincing my girlfriend to see this as well too. And she's
I'm so glad us paying you in spit.
Go to an
I'll
IMAX
take my
theater.
payment now.
You spit on the counter and say, like, I'm providing you with my payment of moisture. Okay?
Lick it.
If you've seen the movie Dune, you know what I'm talking about, all right? No, but yeah, that's the idea, is that this movie should have been enjoyed on the big screen.
It should have, yes.
And I don't disagree with that, because seeing it, this movie is freaking awesome. It's so beautiful.
I'll definitely see it, because I watched it on HBO Max.
I did too.
Because I was hesitant. I'm not a big fan. I don't know anything about Dune at all. So I took a chance to just watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I will see it a second time in a theater.
Okay, so you and I need to go see it because you said, do you think Mandy will go watch this?
No.
And I'm 100% sure. Andy, I explained it to Andy, and I'm like, oh, it's 2.5 hours long.
She'll get an hour and a half. Like, Mandy will get an hour and a half and be like, is it over here? I'm like, babe, we still got like another hour.
What? Another hour?
I'm getting more popcorn. It's just like...
I was an hour and a half in and then didn't realize that the movie's still going and there's so much more. Because there's a giant... Spoilers. There's a giant fight where everything starts to fall apart. And you think that's going to be the end of the movie, and then it goes for another hour.
Is that the giant, like... climactic fight that they show in the trailer?
Yes.
Where it's just like two armies just rushing each other.
Yes.
That
That's
happens
halfway through the movie.
That's like
oh my
even,
god!
honestly, that's barely hitting the hour mark.
That's the setup for
Yeah.
the
That's
honestly
the-
that's
Oh, wait,
the
well, that
end
makes-
of the setup.
No, but that makes sense though,
Yeah.
because okay. So hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
Backtrack.
Just knowing from what.
Rewind.
Okay, so just from what I know of Dune, I'm assuming. Which are kid has dad that's general. Which are they have fight. They make fight.
They make fight.
They make fight.
They make fight
with
on Sandland.
They make fight on
He talk
Sandland.
short to make more time.
Yeah, they
Meet
make
Kevin.
they make fight on Sandland with Resurgence.
Yeah.
Then Resurgence fight back. He gets knocked out by Resurgence. Resurgence then
I'm
take him.
confused.
He's never seen the movie, and
I lost it. The moment you started speaking, I was just like, what am I paying attention to? I don't even know what you're talking about. You lost me.
I have multiple jokes going at once. Anyway, no, okay, so no, but seriously, so I'm assuming is the kid wants to prove himself. He then goes into that fight.
No.
No,
No,
am I wrong?
He tries to prove himself 15 minutes into the movie, and then that goes out the window. That does not become a thing.
So yeah, that's what if anything, I do have a gripe, which kind of falls in the line of that, but it's like more of just that character alone, the Paul character, where it's like he has constantly these visions, the whole time in his dreams.
The one because he sees Zendaya's character,
He keep
right?
showing that same vision 6 or 7 times.
It's okay, so that's why. So
by the time I see Zendaya's character, I'm just like, I feel like I've seen you so many times and I'm already done.
So here's
hold
the
on.
thing.
Is it like clear? Is it like clear as day when you see it?
Yes.
So it's not even like
It's not even like
foggy?
distorted.
No, you don't know it's a
foggy.
you don't even realize it's a vision until he starts narrating the fact that it's a vision.
Yeah, he's like,
you
I have
really-
a dream and I see her and there's a connection.
It's not even like a filter.
No.
It's
No.
not like a filter. that's
No,
over
this
it,
is
or-
why this movie is it's beautiful because like everything is shot so well, and this movie wants you to go watch it in IMAX. Like, I think for people that aren't familiar with this kind of like franchise, watch it on HBO Max.
Yes.
Endure the 2.5 hours. If you've sat
Absolutely.
through
Anybody who wasn't born in 1965, absolutely yes, go watch this on HBO Max. It's
I'm
literally-
finally gonna watch Dune that I wanted.
Doom finally got the man.
Honey, Dune's out. But that came out in 1980. No, they redid it again. Oh God, Carol.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're telling me. Anybody
You
who's
really
following
think that A Troop is gonna sit through 2.5 hours? They're gonna make it an hour in and be like, "What? Rewind it."
no, because they're
The sandworm.
no, because unless
Oh, the sandworm doesn't even come out until like 2 hours. You see
Unless I'm showing
the
this
Lazarus Pit version of the sandworm for like 2 hours and like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Listen,
and then
unless
the last 20 minutes of the movie, it literally stands up and you're like, that's the scene everyone's talking about. 2 hours and 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, they keep mentioning like, okay, yeah, we're in sandworm territory, so you got to walk a certain way. You got to make 2 steps, slide to the left, and then because you gotta
hold on. Please tell me this is a dance movie.
No. Okay, so
Take
they're
2
trying
steps to the left,
Again,
slide to the
I'm
right.
so sorry for the people that are watching or listening to this on audio platform. This is why you need to subscribe to our YouTube.
Go to our
Okay,
YouTube channel
so
right now
this
because
is what
Brian's
they do.
gonna show you.
So because the lore is
Are
great.
you about to dance for us?
He's
will.
gonna
I'm
show
doing
you
it right now.
the way
So
that they
the
have
lore
to
is
step on the sand.
great. They established the fact.
Can you pick up the fucking mic? Jesus.
They established the fact that there is a way to traverse around this planet because it's inhabited by like 40-foot long worms that are freaking giant.
Mind you, they do worship a
they
worm.
worship one.
Yeah, they worship
one specific worm. Yeah. Okay, and there's a scene where you're like, wait, are they gonna do are they gonna ride the worm? Mm-hmm. But then you don't see it until the very end of the movie because the lady that like she ends up dying. Again, spoilers. I'm so sorry. Watch this movie. So there's a scene where she's like,
you are so cranked right now.
The G Fuel has hit.
The G Fuel has landed.
I'm unsure if the G Fuel or the crack we put inside of your inside your G Fuel.
Sprinkled a little cocaine.
Okay, so they don't. This is before
like
we realize
Jesus.
you can ride the worm. Okay, this is how they walk.
Whoa,
they literally
hold on.
say there's a way for you to walk through the sand, so you could.
Is he on
not
camera?
alert
Is he
the
doing
worm.
this off camera? Or is he?
He's in frame. You're in
Is he
frame.
in frame?
Yeah.
All right,
So
because
it's
I
like-
just
They
wanna-
won't see his
Shut
feet.
up! Let me freaking do the dance. So it's like here, here, here.
Yeah, you walked off frame.
It's something. It's like it's a weird little shuffle that they do.
But the
And I
reason
thought it
why
was
is
a
behind
joke.
it is because the sandworms can detect human steps
But if
and
they
know that
dance-
it's a pattern. It's a same pattern and stuff like that. So when you're walking like how Bryan shows, it's a unrhythmic. It's not
It's the
consistent.
flow of the sand.
Yeah, it feels like it's the flow of the sand.
So
All
you
right,
want to
so
know?
hold on. I have a question. Who figured that out? Who was the genius that figured that
The
out?
sand
They
people, the
just-
Furman.
Apparently, the Furmen have done that for decades and decades.
Yeah.
So,
But here's the thing,
I
they
just want to
established-
meet that one guy that was just like, I got an idea.
Guys, I have an idea, and we might not get eaten by worms. It's a long shot.
It's a might.
It's a might. I will do it. I will sacrifice myself to see if this works. All right.
Okay, here's the thing.
Oh my god, it
So-
would be so great if he did it and he was just like, I did it! I did it! And then he starts running back and immediately gets eaten. And they were just like,
it worked.
they're like, oh, well, Dave sacrificed himself so we would have this knowledge.
So did anyone remember that?
So it's great because
Jimmy, you go
spend.
try.
How many times does it pop up? It happens like twice, right?
About walking like that?
Yeah.
Or- so they mentioned. So the first time they mentioned it is when he's looking at, I guess, would be like a way of textbooks, but it was like
It was a film.
It was like
book
a film book essentially, and he was watching. They were talking about how the Freemen get around during whilst walking around.
Furman,
in
I think, is the
Furman.
whatever,
I think
yeah.
it's Furman, and how they walk around above sand territory
What?
of the
God.
worm territory.
I did.
But yeah, so that's how they showed that, and then like they actually did it, and the whole time like, but that happens like at the last hour.
Yeah, they don't. So you learn about it,
Yeah.
and then they do it once for like 10 minutes. Here's the kicker for me, okay? Just like the sand walk, and I told Annie this, and she's just like, that makes no sense. You would think with the amount of advertisement they did with Zendaya, she'd be like a main character in this
Yeah.
entire movie.
Her face
she's 5
is
minutes in
is
this movie.
She's in the movie for 7 freaking minutes.
That's not including visions.
And that's not
Yeah.
dialogue. This is literally the entire, like, I love Zendaya. She's a great actress. She's really great.
really
Not
good.
just from MJ, like, her playing MJ and like in Spider-Man.
No, she's
but, like,
actually-
she's really
yeah.
good. So for 2 hours, you see Zendaya in visions.
Yeah.
You know, she's doing this, she's walking this way, she's talking here a little bit, so on and so forth. And then the last part of the movie, she takes off, you know, the mask that, oh, wait until we get to the suits. The suits are awesome.
Yeah, the one where he has the vision of him fighting in that war.
Yeah.
it looks like a Power Ranger suit. I
Not
was
that
like,
the zoots that they use, or the
No.
suits to
Oh, yeah.
use in the sand.
no, that's
that
cool.
recycle
But I like
water.
the one in the Vision more.
On the Vision's
where
pretty
he's like
cool.
fighting in the war and
Yeah.
everything.
So she doesn't pop up until the end of the movie, and she says, "Oh yeah, you know, he's, you know, we got the, like, you know, he's important. He's an important character."
Yeah, again, it's the whole like hero's journey story.
You've
Yeah.
been, you've been chosen.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the chosen
Chosen
story.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chosen one.
And Andy was like, "Wait, so she's literally in the movie for like 7 minutes?" I'm like, "Yeah." Jason Momoa gets more screen time than her.
Even Dave Bautista,
Even Dave Bautista. I think they're equally the same.
maybe.
Just Dave Bautista has more dialogue.
Yeah.
It feels like, or more more
I think Josh Brolin.
plot progression.
Does Josh Brolin die in that invasion?
We don't know. So that was a great thing is that
because I liked it. I liked his character a lot.
Every character you think, spoiler, every character, the star-studded cast, with the exception of Zendaya and Josh Brolin, die. Oscar Isaac's character dies. Who else is in there? Josh Brolin, we think he dies, but we're not sure. Jason Momoa dies.
Really?
Yeah.
But he goes out in a really cool way. He fights he fights to the very end.
Yeah.
Against the bad people.
So glad you guys spoiled this for me.
Good. You're welcome. You're not gonna see it. So.
I was gonna watch it tonight.
No, you
Were you really?
No.
See, I didn't take that bait.
I remember. The first time I ever watched Dune, I was in high school, and one of my professors. Yeah, I was in high school, and one of my
Why?
One of my English professors.
Was he like 70 years old? It's like, dude, it's so great.
Now, I told you, there's always that one person in a group.
She was a 40-year-old English professor, and she was a teacher, and she goes, "No, you guys should watch this because it's based on like a book."
Yeah.
I honestly think she just Googled movies that are based on books and then showed it to us because we asked her about it and she had no clue. So
was that?
I'm almost positive she just Googled movies that are based on books that I can
Dune.
show. And what was it? I watched that movie. We watched it. I fell asleep like twice during both showings.
I do want to after watching this one. I do want to watch the old one and compare it.
I just want to watch. I want to read the books.
The old one.
Yeah, the 1980s one.
Okay, the 1980s one. Do not watch it tired.
I got it.
Oh,
Okay.
No.
It's a lot. There's a lot of dialogue and not a lot of action.
So
that's what I hear. That was the biggest gripe with it.
I want to read the books because the lore got me. In the mini cast, you're saying this is like Game of Thrones, but sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right? So this goes back to this idea where it's like, this movie should be watched on a big screen. It just doesn't help its case when it's 2.5 hours long and it's lore intensive.
Yeah.
We liked it.
I liked it.
Because we have tolerated movies like this.
We like movies that submerge you into the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's always that one guy. We had the one listener, and if he's listening to this today, thank you. No, honestly, if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be talking about this. We wouldn't have been as interested in it.
Yeah.
But he's like, when are we going to talk about Dune? We're talking about
We're
Dune
talking
now.
about Dune.
Did we like it? Yes. Yes.
Did you though?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I did enjoy it. Like I said, but I do have my gripes with it was the visions. There's too many visions in this movie.
Yours is the visions. Mine,
Yeah.
it's like, it's not going to sell the people.
Oh, it's not going to attract the general audience. Yeah.
It's going to have
No,
that
it's only
one,
the Dune fans.
It's
Like,
the one guy, like the one guy that wanted us to talk about Dune.
Oh, didn't you hear they're showing it at cemeteries? That's why to really hit their market.
last request was just to watch Dune. The family goes, "Here, Pop."
It finally came out.
It came out. They had this thing. It's on an iPad. See, an iPad is what you use to stream stuff as well too, like HBO Max.
Look, Pop, it's Zendaya.
It's Zendaya. She is a young actress. Long before you did.
She's probably been around for as long as you've been dead. Yeah. So
just sitting there. Oh, well, I don't know why we're doing this bit. Like, just sitting
You're
there,
already
just
into this.
You're doing the
I know.
bit. You started the bit.
You just
sold it.
Yeah, just eating popcorn. It's like, how about that scene, Pop? Yeah.
What, are you trying to say that they should weekend at Bernie's?
No, he's watching it with, like next to his Pop's grave. Like,
oh, that's far less cruel.
yes. I don't know where you were going with it.
Skeletons.
I'm not doing.
This movie can't be shown into the
Grave
cemetery. It's not
digging,
gonna wake. This movie's not gonna wake the dead. Are you kidding me? This movie almost put me to sleep. I was just like, oh god, we got an hour left into this.
I know. I watched it last night.
You gotta split it into two.
For like an hour. I watched the first hour and 15, and I was like, it was already 10 o'clock, and I was like, you know what? I really gotta go to bed.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
At any point during the movie, because it's an hour 35, right?
2 hours 35.
Yeah. So 2 hours 35. Was there anywhere they could have cut?
Yes, they could have.
And been like, we're gonna make this like 2 hours, or we're gonna make this like an hour and 45.
Here's the thing.
And then split it into multiple movies.
See, that's the thing.
Maybe
I would have to see how the second one is, but I feel like if they even push this to a third movie, it would be dragging.
So yes,
Really?
Yeah.
yes. Now here's where I'm gonna say, maybe you'll agree with me, Rene.
Mm-hmm.
If they cut this movie in half, it wouldn't work
No.
because
It would feel way too short.
Well, because the original was even 2:17, and that's abnormal for the 80s.
But
because in the 80s,
Yeah.
most movies are like an hour 45.
yeah, that's the thing. An easy hour 45 to hour and a half.
45, hour and 30 in 1984.
Can-
That's a blockbuster.
can you do me a favor real quick before we continue? We are still recording audio, right?
No, I stopped a while ago. We're just kind of it's my
Nick,
Why
we
would you
just-
believe him?
I
first of
don't.
all?
I'm scared because like we just ran some pretty great bits, and the last thing we need is Rand was like, "Oh, guys, we weren't recording
Hey,
the last
you know-
hour,
you
or
know
we
that-
were recording the last." 40
As of
minutes."
right now, the cameras are just seeing your lips do this. That's about it.
I mean, I could use the freaking camera, the phone
It
audio.
would be like, so yeah, we were talking about Dune.
No, yeah,
Welcome to the podcast. Everybody.
I don't know why you're asking me a dumb question.
Because the last time when we were filming the freaking videos for
That
DC
wasn't my-
Fandom
that
or
was
the
not my
announcement,
that was
you.
past Nick.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Do you think past Nick is capable of like
Wait,
not committing the same
wait,
mistakes?
Hold on. Wait. That was not my fault. There is a button on that mic.
It's
but
not a
we
button,
didn't
it's a
see.
switch, sir.
Hold on. But we didn't see.
So I'll be talking right there. Cuts right out. You know?
That's not my fault. The switchboard and everything else was recording. We just didn't know that the switch was there. That's not my fault. That's your fault.
That's not my fault.
That's
I
your mic.
literally told you, Nick. Is it picking up the audio? And
No,
you said
but
yes, it was.
It was.
It wasn't. Oh my.
It was. It must have gotten switched. It had to have gotten the switch.
Going back to Dune.
The shuffle.
In the
Going back to
shuffle, I
Dune.
picked it
Listen,
up.
I don't want. No, we're not gonna argue. It's
we are.
recording.
I'm gonna win this. This is my.
So Dune.
Oh wait, what was Brian's trigger word?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
This is my Bunker Hill.
This is why people keep coming back to us.
We'll come back.
Hey, we've been getting some good like listens. We've been getting some good click rates.
You can call me Custard over here.
I think a friend of the show, Sarah, messaged me the other day about the last podcast and says she was grateful for all the cussing.
Really?
Yeah.
Which out fans, I want you guys to in the comments do the times. I want you guys to tell me how many times I cursed because I was trying to hit 50. I'm not sure.
No, you hit like 20.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think you went past 20, honestly.
I should have just did it for a sentence.
That's what I'm saying. You should have had just like a minute of just straight up just F bombs. Like,
I was a little drunk too. Honestly,
it's funny how
forgot
honestly
much.
how it hit us differently. It hit Brian,
It was
and
the
then
buzz
Nick.
ball, dude.
And
That
it was like because you were
buzz
right here, and you're like, I told you those buzz balls would help. That's
Would
the
hurt.
thing. Would hurt.
Yeah,
hurt
it really,
and help.
Yeah, it hurt my liver. That's what that was.
All right, going back to Dune.
Dune.
Oh, right, hurting my liver.
Dune.
All right, so hold on. Well, we've already done 45 minutes. Would you guys recommend this?
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Because
just
like
telling
I
you to be ready.
I know because, like I said before in the mini cast, I picked it up from not reading the books or watching the movie before, just going straight into it. I picked up the plot pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You just have to okay. Here's what I'm gonna say.
You got
If-
like 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. So
Go.
if the audience that is going into this watching Dune have watched Game of Thrones and they walk out and say, "Oh my god, it's too complicated," shut up. Because if you guys endured the lore for Game of Thrones, then you guys can endure the lore of Dune. It's just sci-fi. One has swords. One has space swords.
They have. I was gonna say they have swords in, dude.
it's space
there's no-
swords and regular
There's
swords.
not even like laser guns. It's like little.
They have a pistol. They have a
it's like
retractable pistol.
That and
at
then
the end of the movie.
they shoot little hummingbirds bullets or something.
Oh my god!
There's
okay,
like little
so
hummingbird
that,
things.
So
They're like,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
bzzz.
That scene, I wish I could have seen in IMAX.
You have 30 minutes. You have 30 seconds.
Okay, that scene I could have seen in IMAX. That scene where he's like that the hunter seeker is like going through the wall and is about to get him.
Oh, yeah.
because that scene is so beautifully shot. It's like you
It's
see the
actually
big
really
screen and one tiny dot in the middle, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so intense. Like,
Yeah.
is this thing gonna jump right at me? And it doesn't. It's super cool. Yes, I would recommend Dune.
Moving on.
I wouldn't.
You haven't seen it. Shut your mouth.
I would.
You haven't seen James Bond, so whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't. I want to.
Shit.
Can we go watch it?
we got other stuff to do. I mean, like, I would say yes, but we got other things planned tonight.
Yeah, we'll go watch it.
Okay.
Like always. Leading me on. So moving on, guys, we're gonna talk about a new trailer that dropped this week.
Oh, we're gonna do Uncharted.
Yeah,
then
we're gonna do
Spider-Man?
Uncharted. Yeah.
That's just, this is your guys' territory because I've only seen Let's Plays of Uncharted.
Oh yeah, you're
because I don't own a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 3.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I've never played Uncharted.
You never owned a PlayStation before?
I've owned a PlayStation 1 and 2, and then I stopped with 3 because the 3 pissed me off with the Spider-Man logo.
Oh my god.
Wait, what do you mean with the Spider-Man?
You remember when the PlayStation 3 came out? It had that like Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man font.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing, and I thought it was cool at the time. And I remember
that's what you.
No, that wasn't it. I'm kidding. The reason why was because
you're defective.
Yeah, they were.
No, you're defective. Not them. Not them. You.
No, the console was defective. Are you kidding me? The console
when it first came out.
on,
When it first came out. Okay.
Yeah, you can't just blame them.
The
Xbox 360 was also defective.
My first PlayStation 3 was getting the Slim. I got the Slim.
Okay,
the matte finish.
So here's my thing. My first console, because my parents were very like protective of me accessing the internet, was an Xbox 360 that was gifted to me. That had the internet port broke.
A PlayStation 2 had internet.
Yeah, but I was a kid. I wasn't smart enough to connect an Ethernet port. I didn't know. Like, I didn't have friends that would like want to, play multiplayer games with me.
You only had 40-year-old men that wanted to play with you?
No, I was just
Hey, Bryan, you're on.
I was the kid that
Hey, Bryan, where you live?
I was the kid that on the weekends
Big
woke
Daddy
up at
69. Turtle lag, are you up?
Don't make this creepy.
Why don't you send me some photos?
Don't make this creepy.
Oh, your friends suck. Yeah.
No,
I'll always be here.
I wish I had I wish I was around the era when like Halo was big, because I felt like everyone who played video games was like playing Halo and stuff. Yeah. I didn't get into Halo until like late into Halo 3. And when Halo Reach was a thing.
Wow. Oh, my brother, as soon as he got like the money, he got the first gen Xbox.
Same.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know how much was it back then.
So
go ahead and check. But he got Halo. I remember that.
I'm almost positive. If my memory serves right, a first one was like $3.99.
Was it? I felt like it was more. That's why I don't know. But
no, they didn't start hitting like the 5 digits until the like 360.
Okay.
I'll put it this way: my dad, may he rest in peace, was a huge Mortal Kombat fan. So he would let me watch and play Mortal Kombat, but when it came to like guns and shooters, that was a no-go for him.
That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
That's
I love my dad. He showed me Rambo, RoboCop, Terminator,
so weird.
Yeah.
but then no Call of Duty, no Halo, none of that stuff. It was just straight. He even was like,
son,
"Oh,
you can rip the spine out of this guy, but shooting somebody with a phaser gun, that's too far."
Oh no, illegal street racing
with a needle gun.
Illegal street racing, go for that, have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he would freaking Predator. He
you
showed me
want to
Predator
rip
as a
someone's
kid.
head off and throw it in their icy body? I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's fine. No, I love my dad, but like
and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying in general
he had some weird restrictions on you.
So when I started getting into when I got the Xbox 360, I started playing Call of Duty. So I quickly played through Modern Warfare and then Modern Warfare 2. And that's when I got into the shooters.
So Modern Warfare, was that your first Call of Duty
Modern
game?
Warfare 2.
Oh, Modern Warfare.
And then I went back to Modern Warfare.
I was off. It's $2.99.
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Which actually Microsoft was making them. Microsoft was making them for $425. So
the 360.
The first gen
Xbox.
Xbox.
No, the first gen Xbox. But so that means that every Xbox they sold, they were losing $125.
Yeah, no, every console. No, that's the thing. Every console that comes out,
consoles don't make money.
they sell at a loss.
And really quick little
peripherals.
tidbit. I just found out now that PlayStation is now doing a lottery kind of thing where you sign up to get a code to buy a PS5 now. Because now...
Yeah, but did you also see the video that leaked supposedly of Walmart stocking up PlayStation 5s?
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if that's real or not.
I don't know. But the thing is that now PlayStation... It's funny he mentioned that, companies don't make money on consoles because it's happening to Sony right now where no one's buying or pre-ordering games.
No.
Because no one technically has a PlayStation.
No one has a console.
Yeah,
So-
no one has the console right now.
Going to kind of bring it back to
Yeah.
Uncharted, Uncharted was a Sony exclusive
Yes.
for the longest time, and it was
Still
difficult.
is.
Still
it
has
still is.
been, yes.
It still is. And I was a Microsoft kid from the 360 to the One to the One X, and when the Series X is available, I'll probably get that. But Sony has done such a great job at advertising their exclusives and making them more attractive now that we're older, that I'm now going saying like, I kind of want a PlayStation 5 because I want to play God of War. I want to revisit 1, 2, 3 and God of War, and it's coming out on PC January 22nd. But I also don't want to play it on PC because I want to play with the controller on a PlayStation 5. You
get mad at the quick time events.
You could, like I said, I'm playing Batman Arkham, on Xbox, and I'm revisiting these old games, which is cool.
Yeah, because some games are made for a controller. Like Batman, I would say that's made for a controller. Like I played it on my PC.
Do you remember what happened to Arkham Knight when it was released on PC?
Oh, yeah, just like nothing worked on it.
Yeah, it was a broken port.
It kept crashing.
It kept crashing every single time you try to open it.
My question is, Uncharted is one of Sony's biggest games.
Yes.
Right.
And they haven't let it go. Because who is it? Is it the company that does it?
Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
Yes.
Same people that did Last of Us.
Yes.
So I'm surprised that they haven't like released that game to PC and say like, you know what, we still get profit out of it, because
they also did Jak and Daxter.
Oh, that's
Jak
right.
and Daxter, They were one of the first one, or they were the company that started Jak and Daxter. Uncharted.
Wait, what? Yeah, they started and finished it. What are you talking about?
Anyways,
why would you say
shut your mouth? Anyways. Uncharted.
Weirdo?
Listen, sometimes I say stupid things and it's fine. Okay, we're gonna move on from that.
No.
Why are you still on this?
Because I'm trying to make a point, and you're not letting me.
And your point is Brian's stupid.
No,
I get it.
I'm not. That was my second point.
So Uncharted is, it is one of Sony's popular releases.
Yes.
I don't understand why they don't release it on PC to have more people play it.
Sony is known to have like terrible ports, and they hardly ever do it.
It's so
Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, barely came out
to PC.
PC, like maybe a couple months ago.
Well, it goes back to the whole
that's a launch
game
title.
being made specifically for a console.
Yeah.
Yeah, but think about it. So the PlayStation 4 has already had almost 10 years, almost 10 years, and Horizon Zero Dawn was a launch title.
Oh my God.
And it's barely gotten a port.
That's true. Yeah.
And that it got a port just before the sequel comes out, so that way they can get more people to get interested in the sequel.
It's just, but that's the thing is that, because Uncharted has 4 games, right?
4 games and then like
5.
a couple of
It has-
spin-offs,
Because it has 5, I think.
I think it goes up to Uncharted 4.
Yeah, but it also had a couple of games on PSP.
Oh, those don't matter.
Yeah, that's true. But then they also did another one that just has Chloe in it. That without
it's his
Nathan
daughter.
Drake.
It's his daughter.
It's his daughter? Really? Is it really?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to spoil
I didn't
that
play
for
that
you.
one, yeah.
That's his daughter.
Damn.
Wait, what?
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 Does he have a daughter?
Yeah, he does. It's the newest
Because
one.
like I said, I watched the Let's Plays of them, but I didn't finish the last one. I actually,
Because you have,
I watched it with, so I finished it up to a point, and then a friend of mine long ago, if you remember him, Joey, he was playing the last one. So he got up to the point where I was at, and I'm like, you know what? I'll come over and, we can play together so I can like play a little bit of it and kind of enjoy the ending.
Yeah, you guys can play together.
Oh, shut your mouth.
I get you. You what? Which one? He plays the game. You play him. It's beneficial for all
Could
parties.
you imagine?
beneficial for
I wonder
all
how
parties.
long we're gonna keep doing this, and like how many times Nick's just gonna keep making sexual jokes. Like it's just his thing,
Yeah. That's just shtick.
That's his little gimmick.
Do you think I'm ever gonna stop?
No.
No. Don't ever expect you to do that. Don't ever stop.
Because in all fairness, one of these days, I'm just gonna stop.
We're just going to be...
Are you gonna be? So
See,
that way you
look, like
look at-
Nick's gimmick is that he's always making sexual jokes.
way you always- I just
My
want
trigger
you to-
words are hold on, and someone mentions Christopher Nolan. What's yours, Renee?
Of course you had to
don't
mention
know.
him. Of course you had to. His name had to be said in a podcast.
And done. Bingo card. The free space in the middle is always going to be one of those because
Honestly,
it's
that would-
automatically
that-
there.
that would be
we should do
hilarious.
that.
Would be
Keep it with the
hilarious,
nerds bingo. Listen to it and see if you can get 4 in a row.
So trailer comes out. Shame, because I feel like this is a game that only Sony audiences are going to be really attracted to.
Yeah.
No, it has a huge following. Like Naughty Dog has done really good because not only that, but also there's comic books for
Yes.
Uncharted series. There's books.
There's been a couple of books.
There's been a couple of like novels about it. Like they've done a really good job. Like especially Naughty Dog. Oh shoot. This guy almost killed myself with a batarang. So anyway, what was it? They've done a lot to kind of make sure that the brand of Uncharted is well known. It is a well known. It's well known as a like treasure hunting. It's kind of like it's the male Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
The male Tomb Raider, the non-Nicolas Cage National Treasure.
It's the
steal the decoration.
No, it's the Sony. If anything, I would say it's like the Sony exclusive Tomb Raider because it came out
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It came out after Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider has always been kind of like cross-platform.
Somewhere in the one
You're
of the
like,
audience
it's
is gonna be like, "What? How dare you compare it to Tomb Raider?" And you're like, "Well, it's kind of true."
I mean, it came out before. It came out before it, so sorry.
Yeah.
Can you legally say that as someone who's played the game?
What?
I can't say that. I've never played the game.
What?
I just, in case a listener gets mad that you're like comparing Uncharted.
I know you're
Tomb
you're
Raider.
not explaining yourself. You're just saying.
Are you saying is Uncharted better than Tomb Raider?
No, what I'm saying is, can you, as someone that has played this game, are allowed to say that it is a male version of Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
because you played this game, you played the franchise.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, you played the franchise.
The only
Okay, because
difference
I
is,
can't say anything, or else I'm going to like burned at the stake for like speaking.
Tomb Raider has its own gimmick now because now the Tomb Raider games are a lot closer
Got its
to
one gimmick or two gimmicks?
what has its own gimmick.
Never mind.
Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't pick up on what you were saying on that. I was like,
what?
Don't quit your day job. Anyway, so first off, the gimmick inside of Tomb Raider is very much now they have she gets stranded on an island and has to survive. It's more of a survivalist thing.
yeah, that's the thing with Uncharted. It's like, oh, what treasure he's gonna stumble upon, but then also completely change like this whole twist.
But it also has like a spy vibe to it and everything like that, which makes sense inside the trailer because I'm a professional and I brought it back. So in the actual trailer, you can see there's a couple of things that they do that take place in the games.
Yeah.
So like the helicopter, like the plane scene.
Yeah.
That's from
the third one, which I find really interesting that they chose that one to go with.
It's a sick scene though.
That's the thing, and
it's a cool scene.
And I was looking back at like all those moments in past games and stuff like that, where that in particular from the third one is actually a what the F moment.
Yeah,
for Nathan Drake to get involved in and stuff.
So my question is, because I thought that with Tom Holland's casting, they were going to do a young Nathan Drake.
Yes.
But they're already using scenes from the movie when he's older.
Okay, so they're using action set pieces, but they're not using scenes from when he's
not
older.
story. Yeah,
they're not story wise. They're not. It's not, but they're using the action set pieces. The only thing that scares me though is because the last video game to do that was the Resident Evil video games. Where they were just like, oh yeah, well, let's put a scene from the game inside of the movie and we'll recreate it with the actors and everything else. And the other thing that's also really odd is the age difference between Mark
Wahlberg's character
and what was it? And Tom Holland.
So
Tom
that
Holland.
also was kind of weird because
I looked it up. So Mark Wahlberg right now is 50. And then Tom Holland's like 25, 26.
So
right now.
so Nathan Drake is Tom Holland, and then is it Sully?
He's Sully.
Is Mark Wahlberg?
So the idea for Sully is that he takes in Nathan Drake and kind of teaches him because Nathan's already kind of like engrossed in history, and so you more or less he's searching for a treasure and he's searching for his brother. And
which is interesting they mentioned that.
They did mention
because that's mentioned in the fourth game.
It's mentioned in the fourth game. They never really bring up his brother in the first couple of games, but I do like the idea that they're kind of like going through the history of Nathan Drake and then just going, okay, cool, what can we pick and choose and what can we put in?
I think that's why it feels more towards they're leaning towards fans for this one than just a general audience, but at the same time it could be good for general audiences as well too.
So do you think that that's going to hurt it though? Because that's kind of where these video game movies tend to fail. When it tends to attract the fan by giving you those action sequences and referencing the stories from the video games, and it starts to lose that general audience because the general audience is going to pay for the sequel.
The problem I have with it right now is that Tom Holland looks great in like the action sequences
Yeah.
and everything like that. The only problem I'm having is seeing him as not as Peter Parker.
So that's what I was telling people.
He does the pose
It's-
too.
Well,
You notice
so-
that in the
he does.
trailer?
He does.
Does
but
the Spider-Man pose.
but the thing is that I didn't like about it is that I didn't feel like he had that swagger of Nathan Drake. 'Cause
So,
Nathan Drake
yeah.
has this like kind of like swagger to him where he's very Han Solo-esque,
Yeah.
and Tom Holland does not have that.
He's the guy that falls off a Jeep going 50 miles an hour, but somehow still manages to grab onto another Jeep that's behind, going the same speed, just at the door, crawls back up on top of it, kicks 3 soldiers out of it, and manages to drive that car off a cliff in order and survive.
In all fairness, I think like Chris Pratt has that swagger to him.
Yeah. But the thing is I think they were
They
leaning
wanted to go
toward. They want to go
younger.
younger because they know that if it becomes a franchise,
Yeah,
at
but,
least.
but they wanted younger, but they also got Holland because he's hot right now,
and he's. I think he has a contract with Sony because he's doing Spider-Man, but then
I'm pretty sure he has to be.
he needs another
Sony-
franchise. I think after doing Spider-Man, because there's rumors speculating No Way Home will be like
The last part.
Spider-Man
for
movie.
a while.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying though is that even though Tom Holland's hot right now, I don't want them to be doing the Jai Courtney thing.
Yes,
Of
yeah.
of they're just putting him in movies to put him in movies.
Yeah.
Because he's hot right now. Like, oh, he was really good in that movie. People liked him, so let's put him in this one.
Yeah, because they did that with him and Daisy Ridley in what is it, The Chaos Awakening
And
movie?
that did not.
No
that
one's
didn't-
seen that.
Yeah, I saw it.
And it was not good.
I
Right?
don't remember it.
What are we talking about?
There's a good movie he did that's on Netflix. I think it's The Devil Knows All the Time or something like that.
I know, but the thing is that I don't see him in this kind of action movie. I want somebody else.
So you're running into the same dilemma I have with actors. And I can relate to that because if we revisit, a couple issues back, we were talking about, Chris Pratt as Mario and why I have a problem seeing certain actors a certain way. The example I used was, what's his name from Parks and Rec? He played Sonic.
Oh, Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
So Ben Schwartz was that actor that I recognized from Parks and Rec, being all flamboyant and singing and all this other stuff and just funny.
yeah, I
How do
wanted
you-
that Sonic. I wanted that.
But we didn't get that Sonic. We got a more kind of suave, funny,
Yeah.
child-friendly Sonic. And now I can see Ben Schwartz's range in that sense. So are we only going to be seeing Tom Holland as Peter Parker, and are we going to have a hard time, separating him in this movie from Peter Parker to
Personally, for me,
Nathan Drake?
I think I'll be able to separate it.
Well,
Personally, for me.
Here was my thing though, is that I from what I saw in the trailer, he still seemed kind of naive like Peter Parker. Because I always saw Nathan Drake as the Han Solo that would shoot first. Because that's always kind of been what Nathan Drake's done. Is like, oh, there's a problem, shoot it. And
How do I
how do I solve a problem?
he doesn't go for confrontations. He just shoots it, That's how he
How do I
figures it out.
solve a problem? Like Maria, bang.
I see what you mean by that. Yeah.
But isn't Nathan Drake in the games? Doesn't he like Captain Kirk a situation a lot in terms that he's always getting hurt?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
So
always
that-
And he always finds himself in these obscured situations where he's running from a flaming car or has to take on a tank by himself and stuff like that.
Why
know?
not? Why not Chris Bryan then?
But he also is commenting on like, oh yeah, I just came to the desert. Obviously, you have a tank.
And I want to see that. I hope we get to see that. And I want to see of him like figuring something out in history. And Sully's like, "What are you talking about, kid?" Like Sully. He's like, "Well, you don't like." He's like, "Holy crap, Sully! If you don't know like this, that, and this,
But the thing is that I can see Tom Holland nerd out like that because you saw it inside of No Way Home. I mean, not No Way Home.
Far From Home.
Far
Far
From
From
Home.
Home.
Yeah.
So
And he does it with quantum physics.
So you said that Chris Pratt has that suave, right?
He does. You can kind of see him in the Jurassic Park movies.
Now let me put it this way then, because I just said it out loud and I'm just like, wait a minute, this kind of worked as well. Chris Pine did not have, when he first took on the role as Captain Kirk in the Star Trek movies that were produced and directed by J.J. Abrams,
Yeah, Chris Pine has it too. Yeah,
he has that suave. I can see him as Nathan Drake.
I can too.
Yeah, he's got that. Plus, he's gotten beaten enough in the last 3 Star Trek movies.
Everybody's number one choice. The only problem is he's just too old and everything like that.
Chris Pine?
Is
Or Chris Pratt?
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
always,
yeah.
he's always been everybody's first choice. The only problem is he's just too old. Honestly, I
Can
wouldn't
we just
have.
clone Nathan Fillion?
I actually wouldn't have minded if Nathan Fillion was Sully.
Yes.
Because him as Sully, I think that would have been hilarious.
Because I want to see Sully like how he is, where he's just like an old dude and just
I'm too old for this.
Yeah, I'm too old for this kid, or like
that's the whole
constantly just like
mentoring
flirting and hitting on women and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's very much a Nathan Fillion. Like I've been watching Castle lately.
Yeah, because it's on Hulu, right?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Oh, it's on Hulu?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Oh my god,
all
yes.
seasons, all the seasons.
Dude, I'm already on season like 4
Dude,
again.
I'm on season 3 right now. Yeah, I've been burning.
There's
through
people
Castle.
in this.
I played at the shop and it just everyone's like, Castle!
I cannot
I
believe.
can't believe I've been sleeping on Castle.
Dude,
this whole-
Castle
Wait, have
is-
you not seen Castle?
I've never seen Castle.
Nick!
I've been sleeping.
Nick, are you kidding me?
The
The
only reason-
Firefly
So it's not
references
just
in
Andy.
that
The only-
series?
the
No,
only-
because Andy was the same way. Remember,
only-
we were like, "Oh, she's never seen Castle." She's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
I've only seen Bones."
The only reason I watched Castle was because I was watching The Rookie, and I've been watching The Rookie
Dude, The Rookie.
I've been watching The Rookie just
The-
back to back.
The Rookie is a great show coming off of Castle, which is great because he's still a little bit like Nathan Fillion
Yes.
esque, but Castle is just full blown.
No, yeah,
like,
but
yeah.
the thing I liked about it was that Hulu literally went,
Oh, you like
"Yo,
The Rookie?
You like The Rookie," and then I was like laying in bed, and then I finished The Rookie, and then it went playing episode 1 of Castle, and then I was just like, I've never seen Castle. I guess I'll give it a shot. And then literally, I think I was like 5 episodes in.
The first episode's so
episodes.
great.
Yeah,
when
it
he
is.
meets Beckett, he's like, my safety word is apples.
Yes. But that's the thing,
Yeah.
though, is that I can see him as Sully because also I feel like Nathan Fillion could also pull off that I'm too. The whole point of having Nathan Drake for Sully is because Sully is a scam
Nathan
artist.
Fillion as Sully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that having Mark Wahlberg. I was about to say Mark Hamill.
There's so many actors we've named:
Mark Wahlberg.
Ben Schwartz, Nathan
tired.
Fillion, Mark
tired.
Wahlberg,
Anyway.
Mark Hamill.
Hey kid,
Anyway,
let's go
Mark-
find some treasure.
All right, dude. I'm literally waiting for that moment of just like, yeah,
Yeah, that's cool, kid.
so
yeah.
show me your mother. like I'm just waiting
We found
for
the
that
treasure.
moment.
Let's go find your mother.
The problem is that I haven't really enjoyed a Mark Wahlberg movie since he's been inside of like any of the Transformers movies.
Oh, I like them in the other guys.
I like
Other guys and Daddy's Home. The first one I like.
I know,
haven't
that's
seen
what I'm
Daddy's
saying.
Home.
Daddy's Home's really good.
But he did all that before he did Transformers. After
That's
Transformers,
true.
he hasn't really been in a.
I forgot
Good
he was in
movie.
Transformers. Look, I'm gonna
Oh,
put
that's
the
true.
casting is weird.
Hey, Optimus Prime. Show me your mother. Show me your mother. No, but the thing
Show
is
me your
that
Mega
the whole
Truck.
point that Sully does when he gets Nathan is that Sully's getting old and he can't do these crimes anymore.
What is that?
What is that noise?
Are you sitting on something?
No,
Do you know what the noise is?
no. It's a real shame. It's a real shame that there's a bomb in here. Anyway, we should get out of here before it goes on.
We should wrap up, guys.
Really wrap up. Anyway,
This podcast abruptly just ends.
I
What
want
is
you to
that
put an
noise,
explosion
dude?
at
Now
the
I'm getting
end. With a bang.
annoyed.
No, it's his wallet, I think.
it is my wallet.
Yeah, because he has that thing of like the finder.
Oh my
And
god.
I sit
It's
on
lost.
and I sit on my wallet. It's lost. It's in your ass. Anyway,
Lost in my ass.
Oh my god, there's a bomb inside of my chest. Oh wait, no, that's supposed to be my watch.
It's in my- it's in my special pocket.
Now, honestly, I've been
fine.
watching so much Brooklyn Nine-Nine that like everything just relates to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like that whole scene with
Oh yeah, once you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine all the way
You
through,
connect everything.
you
with
connect
everything.
everything to you
in that
connect
same
everything.
episode. You know which episode I'm talking about is what's his name?
I don't know, Bryan.
You know that one episode.
One episode with that one guy.
in that one season past
Rose's
the
ex.
other one.
Rose's ex.
Oh, you mean what was it? Oh, you mean
Pimento.
Pimento.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a scene in there. It happens multiple times where Jake keeps like mentioning, "Oh, Pimento has memento," like that Christopher Nolan movie.
He has memento
and then everyone's
disease.
just like, "What are you talking about?"
You
It's
mean
like no one.
Finding Dory. You mean the Finding Dory disease?
I find
Thank
myself-
you, Charles. Now I know exactly what's going on.
And then they're hanging off the
And
ledge,
Jake,
and he's
and
like,
Jake, stop saying Memento's Christopher Nolan's first movie. You sound like an idiot.
I find myself in that situation so many times because I'm always recommending movies to people, and no one knows what I'm talking about. The end of that episode is more relatable to me than anything ever because Pimento comes into the bar and he's like, Jake, I finally saw the movie that you keep mentioning. Yeah, what'd you think of it? It was all right. And it's just him going like,
Just
I mean,
staring
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
just staring at him. I love the end of that episode where he just goes like, "Oh, I can't go to this. It's the same night as Gaga. I can't go to this." He's like, "Oh, thank God I didn't check with Amy." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, but you should really change the date. No one's going to this. Like everyone's gonna be at Gaga." Like, so great. Anyway, besides the point, for back to Uncharted.
Oh my God.
You monster. Anyway.
God is talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm sorry. It's just, I'm almost done with it.
I know. You're gonna cry. Anyway,
No.
For Uncharted, the thing is that the reason why Sully picks up Nathan Drake is because he's getting too old.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be this thing of like treasure hunting is a young man's game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel Mark Wahlberg can portray I'm too old for this.
Do you think that they're using Mark Wahlberg solely as a partner for Nathan Drake rather than
It
a
feels
mentor?
like it's more of a partnership.
No, but it feels more of a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
You think that I
that's
can't see him
true.
pulling off as a mentor though?
Because in the game, like honestly, in the game, Nathan Drake in the first game, Nathan Drake's 30 or 31, and Sully is actually 61 or 60. They're legitly half an age.
Yeah, like Sully was like 30 when he was like in his like mid 30s when he found Nathan.
Yeah, and he was like 15 or 14.
So this is a young Sully, young Nathan.
Basically,
It's just like the casting is weird. That's all I'm gonna say.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. It's weird, but I mean, honestly, that's how I felt when they announced it. Now, when I saw the trailer, honestly, I kind of like it. I don't mind it now. I like the chemistry that they both have.
It does feel like a movie that was made off of a bingo board.
Can you do me a favor? Look up on YouTube the trailer and see what's the like and dislike ratio of it, because now I'm interested to see what their reaction is, because I always have a feeling that when a video game gets turned into a movie, the hardcore audience is going to be like, no, why are you doing this? They're always going to nitpick.
But the thing is, though, this game is very cinematic in already. So I feel like it's not going to be a hard transition from game to screen, honestly.
So it's 150 off of the Sony Pictures Entertainment website. It has almost 5 million views, and it came out 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yesterday. So it's had 5 million views in a day, 153,000 likes, 8,500 dislikes.
Oh,
okay, so the ratio's it's more than 25. Well, no, sorry, it's more than 75% like.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sully doesn't have a mustache.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
That's gonna be. I think they're gonna do that later.
Mark
on.
Wahlberg doesn't have a mustache. Yeah. Which also I can't see Mark Wahlberg with a mustache.
He posted a picture with him with a mustache. Actually, when they were filming, he posted a picture of a mustache he had.
Did he?
Yeah,
Do you
and
think
actually,
they're gonna jump into the future?
It didn't look too bad. Actually, I was like,
You know what the funny thing is that if they digitally erased the mustache.
You mean they Justice League?
Yeah, they Justice Leagued it, but this time it was good.
Because Sony has
Warner Brothers couldn't
great
do it.
graphics.
Sony's gonna do it.
They were like, "Oh, listen, we got to erase that mustache so that way we can piss off some nerds." But
And
we
by the end of the
gotta
movie,
do it right because we saw
by
the
the end of the
nerds
movie,
riot.
He's gonna earn his mustache.
All right, so you say that you're gonna have fun.
I'm
This
gonna
movie
have
looked
fun.
fun.
It looks fun. I like Tom Holland. He's one of you put him in a movie, I'll watch it. I like how he's doing as of a younger Drake. That's how I'm taking it, as a younger Drake, and I'm excited to see moving on. If there is a sequel, I kind of hope there is a sequel to see where they go with it.
Because in the first game, it's Sir Francis Drake, isn't it? Like
Yes, that's the first. It's El Dorado.
Yeah, they're going after El Dorado because they're following following Sir Francis Drake.
And then the second one, Shambhala, and then
I really wish
the third one is when they go. It's more again towards Francis Drake's history that leads to like one of the ships. I guess they found something in.
So they're remastering all of the Uncharted games for PlayStation 5,
Yes.
or I think they did already.
If not, they're going to obviously.
I'm almost positive they do.
So I'm gonna finish the Arkham series, then I'm gonna jump on
Uncharted.
Dude, I just need a
super
PlayStation
fun.
5.
Uncharted was actually
it's a big thing you're missing, bud.
No, honestly, it's
Uncharted. For when I got the PlayStation 3 Slim, the first game I went to GameStop, and I was just looking through all the games, and they were kind of okay because it was PlayStation 3. They didn't have like a lot of games at
Actually,
the time.
you can just wait.
Why?
What was it? Uncharted Legacy of the Thief Collection
Oh,
coming out for
yeah.
PC, PS5, and PC.
Oh.
So you can just wait.
Well, that depends on you if you want to use your keyboard or your controller or a controller. But you know,
you
can
can
have-
still use a controller on PC, but the thing is, I have a 1060 graphics card on my PC, and
It'll still work.
yeah, but I
Now,
think
now, you're just
barely.
now you're just being nitpicky.
Yeah, I am being nitpicky because I'm on my 3070, dude.
Everyone does.
I actually have
Yeah.
I have a line on the 3070. I'm
Yep.
waiting. I have a line on one.
You nerds.
Why haven't you hooked it up? Who's the one editing all this stuff? Why haven't you hooked me up?
Because it's why would I get you one when I can get myself one?
You don't even have. Look, I threw this idea out at you because you and I are the ones that are gaming. I was like, oh, why don't we stream like once a week
Don't you get mad at me?
and advertise that?
Don't you get mad at me?
First of all, that tone.
Yeah, that tone.
First of all-
that tone, you need to lose it.
You know what I've noticed? I've been listening to a lot of different podcasts and different productions. They always pick on the producer, and I don't
Absolutely.
understand why.
Because they're the person to blame.
Look, okay, because I've been listening to the Rooster Teeth podcast, and they make fun of Chris Damaris
Okay.
because he's the. You know who Rooster Teeth is?
No, oh, yes, I
Yes,
do know
okay.
Rooster Teeth.
No.
I don't know the people you're talking about.
Okay, so Chris Damaris is one of the.
What's Rooster Teeth?
Some indie,
You seriously don't know?
Some indie
What is it?
place.
I don't know how to describe it. They're just a production company based in
You
Austin, Texas.
you
What are
baited
they-
it. You got
what are they-
baited.
Damn it! I got baited again.
Nick. I was like, dude, I didn't even believe it. He's going, what's Rooster Teeth? I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Okay, because
I literally was gonna go. Have they made anything big? like have they done anything?
have they done anything? I don't know. Maybe like a little thing called Ruby. Like,
so they're always making fun of him.
I don't even watch Ruby, and I know what Ruby is.
No, yeah, yeah, because it's huge.
Really? That Ruby was your first one?
Red
Not
versus
even-
Blue?
Red versus Blue wasn't your first,
I've never watched that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I didn't have internet.
dude.
We got, I think.
I didn't even play Halo, and I knew what Red versus Blue was.
No, I felt the sad Naruto music play right now.
Which I've never seen. That
No, but they're always making fun of
Jesus
producers. Because even they produce this podcast called Good Morning from Hell. I've been listening to it all from the beginning. And
What about it?
Blaine, who's one of the Rooster Teeth producers and writers, I think, plays Clayton, who's the brother of Satan. And then Chris Damaris got killed and is now like damned to
What is
play.
this, WWE? What is this?
No, but they always make fun of him. He's always like the guy they always pick on, the guy they blame for everything, the guy that's the loser. And then I feel like that's my role here. It's like I'm producer and I get picked on.
Bryan, I've never called you a loser to your face.
Yeah, behind my back.
Never.
Then when?
In my mind.
Anyway, are we done with the Uncharted topic?
I think so. We've dragged it on long enough.
Yeah, it's we're excited for it, but
I'll watch
I think
it.
we just got to give it more time.
I mean, I'm fine with it. You guys are having your gripes with it.
No, I don't. That's the
gonna
thing.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
I didn't have gripes with it. I think I am not a big enough fan to say that I have a problem with it. I watched it and I said, look, this looks interesting. I'll give it a watch when it comes out. It's going to be something that, because it reignited that interest in my mind again, where I'm like, definitely, if I get a PlayStation 5, I want to play through the Uncharted games. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. It'd be interesting to see how close it'd be to the video games or how much they reference to it. I mean, Resident Evil got a revamp.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a reference thing. I don't think we're going to get exact storyline
Yeah.
from a game, at least in the first one.
It'd just be interesting to see. But yeah, no, as someone that has observed it from outside, it'd be interesting to see where they're headed with this.
Yeah.
Speaking about Tom Holland,
Yeah. And end the show, guys. Thanks for watching.
what are you looking at? Whatever. Anyways, Tom Holland news again.
Yeah.
Empire releases a new cover.
Yes.
I don't think it's out yet, but it's a pretty cool graphic to advertise No Way Home.
It's very 60s-esque.
Yeah. And comicbook.com is where I saw it first, that they released this like little template or the cover of it, and it all but confirms a couple things that we somewhat already kind of knew about.
Yeah. Spider-Man from multiple universes.
And
Sandman.
yes.
Enter Sandman.
So, should we just have like a weekly Spider-Man update portion of the podcast?
Spider Watch.
Spider Watch.
Spider Watch. Spider Watch, everybody.
You think the Daily Bugle's on top of that crap? No.
Because they don't exist. Keep going, Bryan.
Congrats, Rene. You finally got him. You got him.
I was not expecting that from Rene. I was not expecting it. Oh my god. Keep talking. Why are you looking at me?
It's just as funny that I got you now. Like,
Something Brian's never done.
Brian's
That's our show, folks.
No,
Empire magazine has decided to release a cool, nifty retro.
I already said that.
Yes, I'm just making sure.
So anyway,
yeah.
so the interesting thing about this is that people are freaking out because it kind of seems like
It hints at a lot of things.
it hints at a lot of things
Yeah.
that I'm not sure Disney or Marvel Studios wanted to release.
That's the thing.
so
It's
soon,
weird.
but it's an advertisement that went through their desks.
So-
Yeah, someone's had to look at it and go,
someone approved it.
Yeah.
So
It's
because Kevin Feige,
Whatever. Just let it go, man. Just go.
I'll be Kevin Feige. He's like, oh, this is it. Okay, cool. It's like, Internals. We gotta talk about Internals.
what about the Eternals dying at the end?
What?
What?
Damn.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
You think that they paid for all those actors for multiple movies?
They have 2 Game of Thrones actors in there.
They can't afford it.
Salma Hayek.
And Angelina Jolie, and you think that they're gonna go like, yeah, be in multiple movies, guys?
This is like 6 Robert Downey Jr.'s we got. Like,
Yeah, man. No, these guys got to start dropping like flies. Out of there, Salma Hayek. Out of there.
Oh my god, man.
You know how much money it costs to get these actors ripped? You know, with
Yeah.
a
Who's
trainer,
the one that got
And we
ripped
did
that was talking
10
about
of
it?
them.
Oh, it was,
Ken Jamani.
Kumal or
Kumal Jamani.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like we got it.
Now
you
the
got
next
ripped.
one-
You got ripped for only 20 minutes of the movie. That's it. Out of a 2-hour movie, you get 20 minutes of screen time,
Yes.
and you only come off shirtless once.
Well, now they got to pay for another one, which is what Will Porter. He's going to be Adam Warlock in.
Oh,
Guardians.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I love how Andy mentioned to me, like, what happened to the whole like end portion of Guardians 2? Like, are we ever gonna get like, are we ever gonna get him back or something
Yeah.
like that? And then literally like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later after that conversation. Adam Warlock is going to come out in Guardians 3. You're like, okay, that answers the question.
It's funny, really quick. When they announced that, it's funny how they announced Will Porter as Adam Warlock, and then we see him now, and he's just like grown. He's 6'3",
Yeah.
and he's already looks like he's been pretty built already. And then now it's like someone said on a TikTok that I just laughed. It was like, what did like Marvel give him like that Marvel serum that just like automatically we cast someone and we're just gonna get him jacked.
Steroids.
Yeah. But it's called Marvel serum.
First off, that's all natural.
So this Empire cover
Yes.
releases. Everyone's freaking out about it and saying like, oh, this can confirm a bunch of different things already. We can kind of be at peace with all of this. Here's my theory. I feel like Disney / Sony / Marvel have kind of just settled into the fact that leaks are going to happen. And now they're just kind of like, well, you know, this is confirming it, but is it really going to be true?
We're going to show you this, but we're not going to say a thing.
Honestly,
It didn't come from us. So, you know.
I'm just saying, if I was in that marketing department, I would be throwing out so much stuff. I would be throwing out stuff that's not even true. Like I'd be going like, yeah, we got a Kingpin, Daredevil's in this thing.
Yeah, Daredevil.
If you look at frame 250 on the trailer that just came out, you're going to notice a purple ascot that is worn by Kingpin for just one frame. That's the kind of stuff you need to release.
Jessica Jones
Flash
is in
Thompson
this
is
thing.
Agent Venom.
Like I would just be like, oh, let's just throw the kitchen sink at it. And then when people come to go see it, they'll be like, what happened to all the Fisk stuff and all that stuff?
It was just a lie.
Yeah, that's we fooled you.
Do you think that the marketing department for Disney / Sony / Marvel is just high and just
first off,
releasing
the
things?
marketing department for Sony and the marketing department for Disney are completely different.
Who's marketing? Didn't we say that Sony is the one marketing?
Sony has the marketing.
Yes, because what is it? it's Disney has said they are not showing like a trailer. Remember that like Kevin Feige was the one that said like there's no trailer.
There's no trailer that's coming out. Sony bet.
Sony.
and then Sony was just like, dude, my bad.
Someone's making the trailer like, what? He said what? I'm halfway into this.
Empire's releasing what?
No, honestly, I wouldn't. But that's the thing though, is that because it's a multi-studio deal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are things that aren't going to Disney for approval, and they're passing it because usually on like Sony Spider-Man movies, they don't really have as much secrecy as like a
That's true.
as a Marvel movie or anything like that. I mean, think about the last Spider-Man movie that they really had to show. They showed Mysterio, a couple of the Elementals.
That was it.
And Spider-Man in a new suit.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was really focused on like Tony Stark's death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the trailer. It was like, oh yeah, this is definitely taking place after Tony Stark dies. And it really focuses in on like him like taking that mantle. This one I felt like had far too much secrets that they were just like, I don't know what to do. We're gonna have an aneurysm. We don't talk about something.
Well, because that's the thing. You see you see the trailer, and you honestly feel like I'm getting like the first like 20 minutes of this film. You know, that just like it ends like right like because like they're heavily showing like him talking to Doctor Strange, and then like him like going through like that whole like mirror dimension and stuff like that.
We've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things in Marvel trailers that tend to be shown in the trailer that don't end up being true in the movies.
That's the thing, yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that could be lies.
Yeah, but the thing is, but for that you can say that for people in a shot. So like the scene on the bridge.
Yeah.
I imagine that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are there. Because that was the thing I told you.
Yeah.
Where it was like, "Hello, Peter," and I'm telling you, I was like, oh, well, because
he must be talking to Toby.
He must be talking to Toby, and Toby's on the bridge with Spider-Man. So all they needed to do was just, and they just erase the two other Spider-Man,
or just kind of close in the frame.
Yeah,
they did that with Civil War.
They did that with Civil War for a lot of things, or. What is it like action set pieces though? Those are in the movie because they don't like the only action set piece like the whole like spinning cars thing. That's definitely in the movie. Peter fighting and stuff like that. I mean, the only time that's really happened where they've done like an action set piece was the running scene in Infinity War.
Oh yeah,
where like Hulk wasn't there and stuff like that. But I mean, that's kind of it. Like
that's true.
Like if it's an action set piece, you're most likely that's going to be in the movie.
I have a feeling that this is, like I said, I feel like this marketing department, whoever's managing it, is just kind of at this point not caring enough to just nitpick at certain details. People are smart enough to figure out that Sandman's in the movie. Like that's kind of been confirmed already.
It's 2 months out.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
we said Sandman was in the movie early.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We know that the Sinister Six are going to be featured in this movie.
But we don't know exactly the lineup because that's the thing is that in the trailer we see Sand in a like little spinning around. We were assuming again this is not like 100% confirmed because we haven't seen the movie.
I'm almost 90% sure. I literally said Sandman is in the movie and he's trying to help Peter.
Yeah. So, but this isn't like 100% confirmed.
Right.
So there's always that.
But then now we have a new character that's been confirmed. Obviously, after Venom: Let There Be Carnage, we have Venom in the universe now.
Now it's like we're still at that like 95%.
So, and not only that, but also then we also had what was it? Tom Hardy having a Spider-Man No Way Home hat.
Yes.
A production hat. So. And he was like, no, I was never on set.
I just met them and stuff. Yeah,
I just went on set to go visit because we were both Sony properties, and it's like, nah,
Tom,
who do you think we are?
Tom, you did pull a Tom.
Tom, meet Tom. No, but I do think. Okay, so let's just go over it. So right now we have Venom,
Sandman, Electro,
Green Goblin, Ock. So that's 5.
Lizard, but like not 100% confirmed.
The Lizard's in it. Because
we're at like that 90%. Like if there's a margin of error, it's like that 10%.
You know why I know the Lizard's in it? because there was only 2 Andrew Garfield movies, and you need to have another villain.
Rhino. Rhino just makes a small appearance.
No, I mean, Rhino was dumb.
Yeah, Rhino is dumb.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti was wasted on that.
Oh, Mysterio's supposed to be.
Mysterio showed in that
supposedly-
Empire cover as well. There's an orb.
Yeah, so Mysterio. So that's it. That's
That's
7.
Yeah.
And they mentioned Scorpion, but they never went anywhere with it.
I'm
That's the
telling you
thing.
right now, Kraven the Hunter.
If
that's
Kraven the
not-
Hunter comes
Because
out,
Kraven
I'm
the
gonna freak.
Here's the reason why I say Kraven the Hunter, because Kraven the Hunter's already been cast.
That's true.
Because
Aaron
why
Taylor
would you? Why
Johnson,
would we?
yeah.
Why would we cast Kraven the Hunter
Mm-hmm.
if he's not going to be in a movie anytime soon?
That's true.
What is this? A DC film? Like,
Right.
come on! I'm almost positive it's going to.
Who's casted as Kraven?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh,
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, Kick-Ass. Which I think he's going to do an awesome job. I just kind of curious how they're going to change that.
Oh, you know what? Oh no. Well, that because now I'm thinking about Morbius. I remember in the Morbius trailer, Michael Keaton's character was featured in it.
Yeah,
the
but
Vulture.
it's Morbius. Nobody cares.
That's the thing, and it's just like I'm just thinking about it, like
Morbius is-
originally before the pandemic. Was that supposed to come out before? Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
it got pushed back like 4 times.
Yeah, it's been pushed back so many times that like all the momentum for Morbius is gone.
It's I don't
That
think
movie,
they're gonna
that
even
movie's
try.
been supposed to come out like 2 years, like almost 2 years ago now,
Mhm.
and it still hasn't. Like I think we're barely even. We don't even have trailers on TV about it. No one's.
No
talking
one's
about
mentioning
Mor-
it.
There was a
Nobody's talking
trailer
about
for
it,
that
nobody's
a
anything
year and a
else.
half ago.
Mhm.
So I'm saying we're like 2 years out. From,
Seems like Sony's
from-
really not.
So the
focusing
funny
on that
thing
one.
was, I was listening to the Funhouse podcast, and they like they
You know
did
why?
a
'Cause it's
what?
not good.
That's true. Well, because they were focused. Remember, they were announcing all these different like villain movies, and they were gonna have their own little universe. But now, with they're doing No Way Home, it's like okay, well, we don't really need to do that. now.
So I have a feeling that they had to restructure everything because
Mhm.
the I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't bother to research it as much as I should have, but listening to the Funhouse podcast, and someone sent them in an image of like Morbius, like on like film or something like that. Supposedly, there's like a trailer that's going to be coming out soon. So it'd be interesting to see if Sony does put up a trailer for Morbius when No Way Home comes
But the
out.
thing is that because with Morbius, because the only thing that makes sense is that with Morbius comes Blade.
yeah,
That's the only thing that makes sense. Because Blade has already been announced. We already have our Blade. It's just it's been delayed up the yin yang.
it's basically like how Dwayne Johnson was cast as Black Adam. That just like the longest. God, put it down. That he's been like in the process. Okay, you know what? That's mine personally.
Fine. It's fine.
Thank you.
You take my toys away.
Yes,
Yeah, because
take
they're
my
my
toys away?
toys.
just like you were.
I'll take his mic away.
I like how you did Bryan.
You want to test me again?
Wait, you want to go again?
Yes.
I took.
I take myself out.
Turn your mic back on.
I don't think it's on.
No, he turned you off.
No, you turned me out.
He turned you on.
I take myself out. Okay.
First off, I never would do that. I would always.
Yeah, you're not
I would
the
always wanna
production
turn-
manager.
I would always want to turn you on.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Closing thoughts. We're about to reach about an hour 40.
Okay.
So
So honestly, for Spider-Man, I mean, we're 2 months out. We're literally 2 months out.
yeah,
This movie is gonna be either a spectacular marvel of what exactly can be done
Yes.
with proper, scheduling and proper writing, and you can
Casting.
see it, and casting
Yeah.
and everything like that, and a proper use of certain villains and stuff like that
Yeah.
that didn't get anything else, or it's gonna be a giant pile of shit. So I mean,
Especially the hype behind all this too.
yeah.
That's the
So
thing.
I mean, that's the thing. But
so much hype.
here's the thing, though. The number one thing that I've always learned about a Spider-Man movie
Mm-hmm.
is that a Spider-Man movie does better when it has a solo villain.
Yes.
When you start adding too many villains and
Spider-Man
too
3,
many characters
Amazing
into
Spider-Man
a,
2, yeah.
into a Spider-Man movie,
Mm-hmm.
immediately the movie just goes haywire.
this
And
is.
everything else. The only one that's proven that differently is Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
So there is another issue that we forgot to mention. It's that rumors are circulating around that this is Tom Holland's final appearance final main
Solo-
film appearance
yeah, solo
as a
movie.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
So my thought is this, because who was it that came out and said that they got really emotional during the when they stopped filming?
I think it was both
was
Tom,
Tom
Holland
Holland,
and I
the
think
cast.
It was most of the cast. I think Zendaya said the same thing.
Yeah, that they got real emotional because it was like
Tomei, yeah.
it was a final goodbye.
Well, the thing is that they don't know if it's going to be an. Here's what I'm hearing from this. The contract is up.
Yes.
Because he was signed for 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But if this movie does well, there's an option for more.
Mm-hmm.
So as of right now, this is the last one
So-
because he hasn't renewed his contract.
So it kind of feels like what they're planning for No Way Home with all these villains coming out. They're testing waters with certain ones.
Yeah.
They're basically saying that we're going to connect all the Spider-Verses together. They're not going to use, Doc Ock in any future movies. Is just going to make an appearance. Electro is going to make an appearance. Sandman. They're all going to make their appearances. There's going to be one mainline character that stays in this universe that becomes successful. If this movie does sell,
and it's Venom. Venom's going to stay.
Venom or Kraven the Hunter if he makes another appearance. Who else is? What's the other? I mean, they could just be opening up the doors for more villains in the future, for more Spider-Man.
That's why
movies.
I'm saying I'm almost positive that we're going to either have emergence of like Spider-Man, like maybe Tobey Maguire's with Andrew Garfield, and like all their memories are combined, and everything else, and then you also have the same villains that are now part of this Earth, and stuff like that. There is no way home.
No.
For them.
The other thing I was thinking of for my final thoughts, if this is Tom Holland's last movie, they can Ultimate Spider-Man him, kill him off, or he's gone, and they can bring in a Miles Morales as a they've casted a Miles Morales. They just haven't announced who it is, and then he takes over as the mantle for Spider-Man.
Have they already
in future.
casted a Miles?
Not a live action one.
Okay, yeah. Because honestly, I wouldn't mind an Ultimate Spider-Man. Because I like this like Spider-Man and then it's like a home thing. I wouldn't mind them just kind of going Spider-Man and then it's something totally different, or Ultimate Spider-Man. And it is a Miles, but I would want Tom Holland still as Spider-Man. I don't want Tom Holland dead.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed the Ultimate series where Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Miles Morales are alive together.
But that didn't establish itself until years later.
That doesn't matter.
They could do the whole Iron Man route where Iron Man did 3 movies, and then after that he's just featured in more Marvel movies. In the future, he's just in an Avengers movie now, which is fine. They can do that with Spider-Man.
Because honestly, I
or at least Peter Parker.
Because I feel like for Peter Parker, killing him off is, for one, he's too young. Like, he's too young in his Spider-Man career to die.
He barely had his spider senses established.
That's what I'm saying. But he would want to pass on the knowledge that Tony Stark gave him. So him finding a mentee would definitely be something that he would want to do, especially somebody that has the same spider skills as him and everything like that.
Yeah.
He would definitely see that as like a kindred spirit and try to teach him. And I think that would be an interesting movie.
Yeah.
We're 2 months away. I have a feeling like we're done with leaks at this point.
Oh, you think?
What else could be coming out at this point? Like,
what? You want to know?
What?
Movie leaks
when they start screening it.
You know what's funny is that they already screened the Eternals, and I have yet to see any form of like a really hyped review for it. Not a hyped review, because the thing that I've been seeing is that there's leaks circulating around. But these are leaks coming out, almost 2 weeks before the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Right.
Venom, their leaks started coming out, I think, a week before the movie premiered.
Right.
So if any leaks are going
test screenings started happening.
Yeah. So I feel like these leaks probably won't be coming out, or if anything, they're not even going to do any kind of test screenings. They're probably going to
or early screenings. I'm sorry, like press screenings.
The other thing that I'm thinking of, and I know I said final thoughts, final one. What if they do what Scream did in terms of filming multiple different scenarios, but they're only going to use one?
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about? Because Scream did that, where they filmed multiple scenarios, and even the cast didn't know who the killer was at the end.
Yeah.
For Scream.
Oh.
Yeah. The horror movie, yeah.
So what if they did that with this, where they kind of film certain things, and then Marvel's like not telling the cast this is what's going to be at the end of the movie?
I wouldn't be surprised.
They did the same thing with Paranormal Activity, the first one. There's like 3 different endings, and when the movie got leaked, it wasn't. There was one ending that wasn't the final ending, but it was just an off ending, just in case if it was to be leaked.
Yeah.
So
Not only that, but also Clue did that back in the like the 80s.
oh, that's right. Yeah, you
Clue
told me
did that,
yeah.
but Clue had
5 endings for every single one.
It was 3 different endings, but they had a different reel. So it was literally 3 reels that you would pick for the last reel, and then that would be like
the ending that you saw.
That'd be the ending. So basically, you can go see that movie 5 times and get probably a different ending every single time.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I've only seen Clue like twice. And I recently saw it maybe like 4 or 5 years back, and I watched all the endings. It was pretty cool.
I watched that thing all the time. Clue's amazing.
It's funny how now like there's a new love for Clue.
Yeah.
Like everyone's coming out and saying like, oh yeah, I love Clue. Like Clue's like, I think it's just like
Damn posers.
not that.
I like Clue before it was cool.
It's just now because that's happening with Scream as well too. There's a new like love for Scream with all these actors.
By the way, did you get the skin for Warzone? The Scream skin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Did you see that or no?
No.
It's a bundle where it's like you can have an operator as Scream. Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
Ghostface, and you can have his knife,
Uh-huh.
and his assassination is like from the movies where they stab him from the back and the front and like
Oh,
gut
that's
up.
cool.
Yeah, and then I think on the 24th is Donnie Darko.
Yeah, and then they also got the original voice. They got the guy who did the voice.
Oh,
for
who
the
does the
movie,
voice for us?
and he does, and he did his voice work. So so like as you're running around, you have his voice talking.
Yeah.
So kind of like how John McClane did, but also they have phones ringing throughout Verdansk. So like you could pick up the phone and then it's like, "Do you think you're safe? I'm behind you."
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
I know they got him back to do the new Scream movie as well too.
Yeah.
The original voice actor, which is cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sick.
I feel like this is a good way to end the podcast.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. So thank you all for listening to this issue. Just a quick reminder, you can find us on our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com, where you guys can find all the information and all the up-to-date, videos and podcasts and, our Hallmark yellow label issues, which are the mini casts that you can only find on the website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. If you guys are listening to us on audio platforms, please head over to our YouTube channel, Keeping Up with the Nerds. You guys go ahead and subscribe. You guys can watch us there visually and see all the gags that we do instead of just listening to us. Subscribe. We're at 75. We want to reach 125 by the end of the year, and we can do it, guys. Come on, please subscribe, share us, please. We love you all. If you're all listening to us on audio platforms, you can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, please. We'd love to see your guys' reactions, and, go ahead and comment, whatever. Interact with us. Follow us on our socials as well, Instagram and Twitter at Keeping Up With The Nerds. With that said, Rene, are you ready to end this issue?
Yes.
Let's do it.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 70. I am your host, Rene.
This is Bryan.
Recording at Undercity Comics in Whittier, California. We want to thank everyone for listening in this issue and hope to see you all next time.